This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by T-Mobile.
We're going to talk about Michele Bachmann. You know, we talked about it yesterday, and her husband, who will help you pray the gay away, right? Because he himself,
he prays it out of himself every day.
Prays it out of himself every day. That praying sucks.
And then it comes back the next morning. That's the problem.
You wake up.
He's working on it.
It's right back where you start. Right. So let's play a clip. Clip number 5. This is Dr. Marcus Bachmann. Now he got his degree. His PhD came from a correspondence college in Cincinnati. That's true. That's true. They call
Impressive.
it. There's a name. They have a funny name for it. It's like an off-site learning center or something. It's like some crazy. So here's what he had to say about gays. Let's go number 5.
We have to understand barbarians need to be educated. They need to be disciplined. And just because someone feels it or thinks it doesn't mean that we're supposed to go down that road. That's what's called the sinful nature.
It's like he's doing. It's like it's Will Ferrell doing a character. It's like a joke.
If anything, that turned me gay, listening to that. I mean, I'm not gay, but come on, barbarians and discipline, it's pretty hot.
What he
Some hot stuff.
And he has like a little bit of a lisp, but
he's Republicans are old-fashioned. He's an old-fashioned gay guy,
right?
With a lisp. He's got something kind of retro and ironic about his gayness.
And just as a side note, I think it was extra mean of the person who invented the word lisp, because the people with lisps can't say it. It's like, how mean is that? So anyway, so that's. I want to read some of the stuff that. So she had to sign this marriage pledge, Michele Bachmann, right? And let me put on my glasses for this.
That's the one that was going around Iowa.
Yeah, an Iowa organization called the Family Leader has drawn up this pledge that they're supposed to, and it's the marriage vow. And according to the CEO of this group, the pledge is vitally necessary because the sanctity of marriage is in crisis and leadership is desperately needed. And who better to turn to than a crazy congresswoman and her closeted gay husband to help bring sanctity back to marriage? You know, maybe they could get Newt Gingrich on board too.
Well, he believes in marriage,
sure,
the sanctity. That's why he's honored the sanctity of it many times.
3 times already. He's sanctified it.
And the sanctity of adultery he believes in as well.
Yes, he does. So here's what's inside the pledge. I don't know. Have we covered it? Have you guys covered the pledge already on just a little bit? It says the number 1 is the respect for the marital bonds of others, right? So that means don't screw somebody else's wife, right? Which I think I've already heard that in something else.
I think the ones that Newt cheated with weren't married, so I think he's okay there.
So he's okay there.
He was married, but they weren't.
Official fidelity to the U.S. Constitution.
Because you don't want to cheat on the
Constitution. No, I mean, if I find out, I come home and I find out you're sleeping with Paraguay's Constitution.
You know, after a few drinks, anything can happen.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm going hiking on the Appalachian Trail. I find out you're having nookie with Brazil's Constitution.
That happens on out-of-town business trips. So.
It's literally what it says. Official fidelity to the U.S. Constitution, supporting the elevation of none but faithful constitutionalists as judges and justices.
Wow. Well, I have to say, they take all the sex out of everything with that. Nobody is going to have sex with anyone after reading this.
Vigorous opposition to any redefinition of the institution of marriage, faithful monogamy between one man and a woman through statutory, bureaucratic, or court-imposed recognition of intimate unions which are bigamous, polygamous, polyandrous, same-sex, etc. So what they're saying is, screw the gays.
And they're also saying all those things are the same, you know, being gay, being
yes,
polygamy, having sex with animals. It's all in the same equivalency.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bestiality, probably.
Bestiality, yeah.
Sure. Let's see. Rejection. Here's one that I don't understand why this is in this defense of marriage thing, or marriage vow. It says rejection of Sharia, Islam, and all other... What is their obsession?
Studies show that a large majority of marriages break up due to in America break up due to lack of fidelity to Sharia law.
Yes, yeah, or too much Sharia law.
Yeah,
yeah. I know that's what happened to my parents. It was that damn Sharia law. Commitment to downsizing government and the enormous burden upon American families of the United States.
Now they're getting off story there. You know, now they're going from the marriage to the size of government, you know.
Now, even worse than this, she gave a speech a couple of years ago. She delivered a lecture to the National Education Leadership Conference back in 2004. And I'm just going to hit some of the highlights of that speech where she was talking about, quote, I'm quoting her. She said, "We need to have profound compassion for people who are dealing with a very real issue of sexual dysfunction and sexual identity disorders. This is a very real issue. It's not funny. It's sad. And any of you who have members of your family that are in a lifestyle, we have a member of our family that is," that's what she's saying. "It's not funny." She says it twice. It's not funny. It's very sad. It's part of Satan. I think to say this is gay is part of Satan. It's anything but gay.
Wow.
So she seems like she's got her, she's got her feet in the ground and she's reaching for the
Was
stars.
that a speech or was that her confronting her husband?
I think somebody hacked in their voicemail to her husband.
Rupert Murdoch did.
T-Mobile's great selection of tablets, laptop sticks, and their new mobile hotspot allows you to stay connected to the internet on the go. Affordable high-speed internet when and where you want it, without the overages. Mobile broadband data plans start as low as $29.99 a month, and current T-Mobile voice customers save an additional 20%. Create your own personal hotspot on the go with T-Mobile 4G mobile hotspot. Get high-speed internet on up to 5 Wi-Fi devices, laptops, tablets, music players, gaming devices, and more. 4G capable with speeds up to 21 megabits. With the mobile hotspot from T-Mobile, you can share the power of America's largest 4G network. With devices like this, you can use T-Mobile's high-speed internet on the go.